Come on. Yes. Awesome. We got Bowser. Oh, hello. Welcome to the game store. How are you doing today? Good to hear. I'm also doing well, thank you. Yeah. Just playing through some Super Mario 64. Just doing some speedrun practice. Yeah, I'm not in the middle of an actual run or anything. Yeah, don't worry, you're not interrupting. Anyhow, what brings you into the game store today? What can I help you with? You were looking to pick up an order of games? For sure. I can definitely help you with that. If I could just get that order number there from you. Actually, you'll just have to wait one moment. My system is just frozen. Just gonna reboot it here. Should just take a minute or so. What have you been up to today? Just enjoying the nice summer weather? Ah, nice. I have some plans to do so myself once I'm done my shift here. What kind of fun stuff you been up to? Ooh, the beach. Yes, that's a classic summer activity. Very nice. Are you more like a chill on the beach kind of person, or do you like to go in the water? A little bit of both? Nice. Yeah, I like to build sand castles personally, and then you do a cool off swim, because it gets hot there under the sun. Yeah. So I'll just get that order number from you there. Okay. Uh-huh. Perfect. And if you could just confirm the order number on the pin pad there. Perfect. And it looks like you picked up 4 different games here. You've got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 4, and Saints Row 2. Nice. We just recently found that, actually. That's been missing in action for quite some time, so yeah, you were very fortunate to pick that up. I imagine there's been a number of people waiting for the listing to be updated from just case only, and even then we didn't even have like a manual or anything. It's just an empty case. And you were aware of that as well, yes? That the case is empty? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it looks like you did have a $7 discount applied here because of the lack of cover art and lack of manual. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to run to the back to grab those for you. Before I run back, though, were you looking to pick up any controllers today? You were wondering if we had any PlayStation 2 controllers in stock? Well, I can certainly check for you. I think we should have a couple. Was there any color you had in mind? You were looking for blue, okay? Yep. Blue PS2. Yeah, it looks like I have 3 of those in stock right now, so I can grab one of those for you as well, and just add that to the card we have on file here. Perfect. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got your order from the back there. We've got your PS2 controller on top here, and then Saints Row 2, and your 3 Grand Theft Auto games underneath that. So, before we take a look at your games, I'm just going to do the standard in-store controller button test. Just know that this was tested in advance, so everything is functional, but we're just doing the customer test to make sure everything sounds good to you. If any of the buttons sound, too squishy, or anything looks a little less than you'd like in terms of functionality, we can look for another one, or just remove it from the order, or we can order you a new one entirely. Yeah. But like I said, this has been tested, and we have pretty rigorous standards, so I don't imagine you should have any dissatisfaction with the function of the controller, but I will let you be the judge of that. So we're going to start with the joysticks. They both click, they both rotate. Our directional pad works great. Start and select. Our analog button. X, square, triangle, circle, our left and right bumpers, and our left and right triggers. This one comes with a cable as well, so no need to charge any pesky batteries. Brings you back to the classic era of couch co-op. Alright, so the controller is in excellent working order. I will pass that over to you. Did you have a PS2 controller already, or are you just adding another one to the collection for potential multiplayer or a backup? You've already got one at home? Nice. Okay. Yeah, well, it's always good to have a backup, I agree. It's the worst if you're in the middle of a gaming session and your controller just gives up on you and you don't have anything to replace it with. So I always recommend going with a backup. You've made a wise decision. Speaking of wise decisions, I would say all 4 games you picked up today, incredibly wise decision. All 3 Grand Theft Auto games are masterpieces, classics, as is Saints Row 2. I would say the second Saints Row is the best of all of the Saints Row games. It has the best soundtrack, the best missions, the best worlds, upgrades, vehicles, all of it. It's the best one in my opinion. Yeah. So, like I said, we actually just recently found this one, but there she is. There's the disc. So in this one, you play as the leader of the Saints, and it's your goal to take over Stillwater. I believe that's the name of the city. And there's a corporation in there called Ultron Corp or something with a U. And their symbol's like a gear. But so there's a bunch of different gang factions you have to fight, and then a corporation as well for control of this city. Featuring amazing characters like Johnny Gat, Shondi, Pierce, and the gang storylines are particularly brutal. Honestly, the way you end up taking out each of the gangs is gnarly. It's pretty gnarly, yeah. But for fairly good reasons. Each of them kind of have it coming a little bit, yeah. What's really cool in this game is the way you can upgrade your hideouts to have different customizations, so you can kind of pick the way you want them to look, and then you can also customize your gang members as well, and have them look different with different outfits on, and when you're walking by them in the street, you can call them for backup to help you with missions or side missions. That's another cool thing. So there are main missions, so story missions for taking over the city, but there's a number of fun side missions as well, like there's one called Insurance Fraud, where you have to essentially like throw yourself into traffic and try to accumulate as much damage as possible to your body. There's another one where you have to do the same but to the city. There's races, there's garbage truck missions, there's sanitation truck missions, fire truck. There's a whole selection of different side missions, and each of them brings their own unique flair and fun. I would say in the later games the side missions were still present, but the variety was considerably lacking compared to what was available in the first game. And then that soundtrack is just phenomenal. I mean, Karma Chameleon alone could carry the soundtrack, but there's tons of other great tracks in there as well. There's some good Panic at the Disco. I'm trying to think of some other stuff off the top of my head. I love the soundtrack, but you always blank when you go to talk about it, right? But those two for sure, I can remember, and they're phenomenal. So, actually, all of the games you picked are known for having excellent soundtracks, whether it's Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row. These games are really known for having phenomenal radio stations that you can pick between, and the different radio stations have really good music that kind of adds a comedic effect to the fairly intense and rather violent, I would say, missions that you're doing in these games. Yeah. And so we're not exactly working in order here, but that is okay. But next up we've got Grand Theft Auto 4. So this is a Grand Theft Auto that I would say is one of the most realistic worlds. It's not necessarily the biggest map, but the details that brought this map to life were incredible. Like, some of the NPCs actually had jobs. You could see people wiping windows in the burger shops. There was a lot more buildings you could go into in 4 than you could in 5. But 4 has a pretty cool story as well. Aside from, I would say, some of the more social elements of the game, like dating and Roman asking you if you want to go bowling every 10 minutes. But the way the city unlocks is really cool. Like, when you get your first luxury apartment and when you start moving up in the world, it really feels like an accomplishment. The characters in this game are really interesting. The story is super compelling, and Nico is an interesting protagonist. Now, one critique that some people have of this game is that the driving feels a little bit floaty. I would personally say that the driving in 5, and even some of the previous games, is a little bit better. Like San Andreas and Vice City both have a little bit tighter controls in terms of the driving, but I do believe they were going for more realism in 4. Like, when you crash into something, you can fly out the window and get, like, launched from your vehicle, and same with motorcycles. So that does add an interesting element of ragdoll physics simulation, if you're just kind of messing around in the world. And the cops in 4 and 5 are fairly different as well. The cops in each game are fairly unique. I would say that the cops in 4 are a little bit harder to get rid of than in 5, but easier than the original games. Yeah. So yeah, there's a ton of customization. You can pick outfits for Nico. You can hang out with people. When you do it voluntarily, it is a cool feature. It's just annoying when you're in the middle of an intense delivery mission with, like, explosive cargo or something, and Roman again, he's calling you, "Hey cousin, let's go bowling." And it's like, "No, Roman, I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll call you up later though, okay? We'll hit the lanes." And the bowling minigame is pretty good too. Yeah, it's pretty solid. There's bowling and pool. And then you can take people, you can take women on dates as well. There's, like, a dating app, I believe, so you can meet dates online, and then you can also date some of the women in the storyline and that you meet in various places. You can take them to the comedy club, to the pier. Yeah, it's pretty cool to have something like that in a Grand Theft Auto game as well, like romance mechanics, though it's not quite as intense as the weight gain mechanics in San Andreas, which is our last one. So yeah, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with 4. There's a lot of really cool vehicles. The driving is a bit floaty, but still very fun. The graphics are really cool, and the helicopters, actually. There's a lot of really neat helicopters. Just a bit of a pain sometimes to unlock the full map, but once you have unlocked everything, it is a very cool map indeed. Yeah. So next up we've got Grand Theft Auto Vice City. This one follows Tommy Vercetti in Vice City as you complete a number of different missions around the city. As you complete missions, you earn more money and unlock different vehicles, safe houses, parts of the city. Some of them are locked initially, much like in Grand Theft Auto 4. As you progress, you earn more money, which allows you to unlock more clothing and weapons. And yeah, this one has a really cool aesthetic. So it's very much 1980s Miami, very much neon Miami beach nights, you know, parties and disco, that kind of thing. I think the sunsets in this game are really pretty, as are the sunrises. It has a very unique feel to it because the graphics aren't super high fidelity, but it has a certain charm to it, especially if you're playing on a CRT TV. Oh, you have one? Nice. Yeah, so these read a really special way, I would say, on the CRT TVs. Compared to the modern TVs, it just has a different glow, and then also the way the colors fill in. It's just a little bit different, so yeah. And it's the same with San Andreas here, actually, as well. So the orange glow in San Andreas is iconic, or orange haze rather. There's kind of an orange haze that shows up around the city at sunrise and sunset, and it was mostly due to graphical limitations at the time, but it creates a really unique smoggy aesthetic that kind of makes the game feel authentic. If you've ever been to LA, you may be familiar with the morning smog, but it often clears up by around lunchtime. So, yeah, I don't know, it's very atmospheric. There are a number of cool different missions you can do in San Andreas. So there's like fire truck missions, there's police missions, there's ambulance missions. I believe there are those missions in Vice City as well. But there's also some cool stuff like Bigfoot, a ton of different areas you can explore, north of the city, some forest and desert areas. In San Andreas, you play as CJ, who's getting out of prison, and you're trying to go straight, and some cops are giving you a hard time, and your old gang, your old crew wants you to join. So he kind of gets pulled back into things, not necessarily wanting to, and a whole bunch of crazy events unfold, some of which involve a train. Yeah. So, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, really cool. It's like the map in Grand Theft Auto 5, but a little bit smaller and a little bit different. So if you are really familiar with 5, going back to San Andreas will feel somewhat familiar, but also kind of somewhat not. It's hard to put your finger on. Yeah. But CJ's a really cool protagonist, and the other characters in the game are really interesting as well. Yeah. Alright, well, we've got you your 4-game bundle there. We've got you your new controller. Was there anything else I could help you find today? You should be all set? Awesome. Well, I'll just pass you over to your games there. You are going to get a receipt for that controller within about 2 business days, if you haven't already. You did get it? Okay, cool. So you've got your receipt there via email, so I'll just get you your games. There you are. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming into the game store today, and I hope you have a blast with your different Grand Theft Auto titles and with Saints Row 2. I'm curious to know which franchise is your preference, although my guess might be Grand Theft Auto, because you did pick up a few more of those. But after playing them, you'll have to let me know. Alright. Okay, cool. We'll catch you next time. Alright, take it easy. Bye. Alright, back to some Mario. Well, cool mountain. Yeah.